everyone. I'm Ingrid Kelley, and thank you for joining us. Today, we are exploring the issue of substance abuse and the steps one can take to overcome this illness. Joining me now with much more is Wickstrom. He is the founder of Best Drug Rehabilitation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Ingrid. It's a pleasure, as always, to come and educate people on substance abuse.
Okay. How long have you been in the business of helping people overcome substance abuse?
In 2002, I bought my first center. So actually, you say, when did I really get in substance abuse business? I started the company February 2nd of 2003. We actually had our first client come through the doors.
So what motivated you to actually own and operate your own business?
You know, that's a real tough question, because motivation comes from many different aspects in life. And I would say that when I went back into the automobile business, it wasn't satisfying. We had the same things that we have, and it changed because I had changed going through rehabilitation.
And why are you succeeding in an industry where most people are actually failing?
That's a great question. What I view is, if you keep help, you know, we try to help people in this world today as much as possible. And if you keep help, number one, above any other award, and help is your main focus, you're going to succeed.
What's the biggest challenge that one faces when trying to get someone actually into rehab? What would you say?
The biggest challenge in getting anybody to rehabilitation is to get them to view their life. Because if you're failing, if you're not succeeding, you're not going to want to admit it to your peers or your parents or your wife or husband.
What are some of your biggest concerns regarding drug abuse?
That people are uninformed. People don't know. We far too often observe and we put our blinders on, and we don't put the hammer down.
What type of programs are actually offered at Best Drug Rehabilitation?
Well, you know, Best Drug Rehabilitation offers a myriad of programs. What we did is we sat down, a bunch of us therapists, and we decided to look at what works, and we all raised our hand. How did you get sober? And I had counselors that were Native Americans, I had counselors that were Buddhist, I had counselors that were from Celebrate Recovery, which is Christian. And they all had a little bit of different of a story. So instead of just saying, this is the straight line you have to roll, we incorporated 5 different programs under one roof with 5 different trained counselors from 5 different modalities. So not only do we have Celebrate Recovery, we have Smart Recovery. Not only do we have cognitive behavior therapy, but we have Buddhism, if you want to take it. It's all an elective, and it seemed to me when I went to rehab that nobody would give me a choice. It was their way or the highway, and that didn't work for me. I had to formulate something that was a workable solution and incorporate some kind of a belief system that I could believe in.
There are some reports about you being a Scientologist and actually using your centers as recruitment tools. Would you like to respond to those allegations?
Well, my personal beliefs have nothing to do with the beliefs that I teach at my rehabilitation centers. I am a Scientologist. What religion are you?
I'm a Christian.
Right. So we all have our basic belief system, and I believe that in rehabilitation, spirituality is very important. But I don't believe that you have to classify Scientology or Christianity or Buddhism, any of those, as a philosophy that somebody has to change to. I believe you should pick tools up from every available aspect to kick what we call addictions behind.
Do you force patients or employees to become Scientologists?
Never. Never, ever would I do that, 100%.
For people who are watching this, is there a website for them to go to so they can actually learn more about your centers?
Well, you can Google my center, www.bestdrugrehabilitation.com. You can Google www.stopaddiction.com. As far as drug addiction, the best way to learn about drug addiction is to get on the phone and to call us or to call a counselor. You're going to get better information because you're going to talk to somebody like we're talking, where you can learn the truth.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all this information regarding your centers. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.